All right, we are back as the Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show, riding on the wings of that mythical horse named Pegasus. And it's going to be a very, very quick flight today for a little health in the news, hitting the hot list, because I've got a really, really good show coming up for you, and we took extra time with it. And I have extra time, too, so that's even better. So with that, go to clintfuquay.com, go to personalhealthcarereform.com, check out my health partners, get MedCall Assist, because everybody needs an ER doctor on their phone anytime, 24/7, 26 different languages anywhere in the world. Kinisi Athletic, you're going to hear a whole lot more about them today. Pick Fit Foods, because, well, you got to have the right diet for you, and you can do that with Pick a Fit. And, of course, ID Life. Go on the website, go on either website, take the free health assessment. Your life depends on it, quite literally. And also, some charities I'm working with, St. Baldrick's. We raised over $79,000. And Triumph Over Pain, I've got some friends who are doing a charity event coming up on May 3rd. So check them out, do some donations for that. Come out and do a walk, do a run, and that's going to be on clintfuquay.com on the right side of the page, bottom of the page. So, and now we're to hitting the hot list, health in the news, and we're going to run through this very quickly because I got a great interview coming up for everybody today. Starting off, a little ACA news, because there's a lot of it right now. If you haven't heard, open enrollment is over, so you can't enroll anymore. Actually, yes, you can. They'll take you anytime you want to enroll. The 7.1 million number that they've rolled out there, not really all that real. Actually, the real number is 878,000. That's right. It's called government math, or actually it's called Common Core math. Anyway, so it's 878,000 brand new, unique people that signed up and paid, and that are new. That's the big thing, paid and are new. And that's out of the 6 million that lost their insurance previously. So that's one way to get people on the rolls. Individual mandate got pushed back to November 2016. So if anybody's trying to push you into doing anything, saying, oh, you're going to get dinged on your taxes, they're going to come after you, whatever. No, they're not. The individual mandate got pushed back to after November 2016. So you don't have to worry about that because it's eventually just going to go away. Federal employees got some nice coverage for the brand new obesity medications. That's right, there's 3 of them coming out on the market. They get those essentially for free. They're completely covered under their health care coverage that they get for the federal employees. Isn't that cool? And, of course, pre-existing conditions apply there as well. So just a little thing there for you. If you're not feeling played, yes, you just got played by the federal government and the pharmaceutical industry. Another thing that just went out, the CDC got caught fudging numbers on flu shots, flu vaccines, how many people got the flu, how many people died from the flu, all that stuff. They just got found out on that. It's pretty funny. And speaking of health coverage, 1,800 kids lost their coverage. They're all battling cancer. And since I did a thing for St. Baldrick's, this is really biggie for me. This is in New Jersey. 800 kids. Coverage got canceled while they're in the middle of cancer treatments. That's right, helping the poor and helpless. We are with the ACA. Great job, guys. On to food and nutrients. FDA is changing label rules for vitamin E and vitamin B9, that's folate. For you ladies that are pregnant, you need your folate. You really need it. And now you don't know if you're going to be able to get it or not in your foods, or not really in your foods, but in your nutritional supplements. So that's a big thing that's going on right now. Also, tilapia, if you eat tilapia, things are a little fishy with that. It's farmed. They use soy. They use all kinds of different feeding techniques for them. Either way, the nutrition value on tilapia is horrible. So very fishy quality. The Obama lunch program from President's wife got an F-. Why? Because all the schools are ditching it, and the kids are protesting. If you haven't seen the pictures, they're pretty funny. Anybody out there that's puffing away on the e-cigs, they are causing high rates of nicotine poisoning because people are, smoking more and more with those. They think that they're healthier. It's not really. You get all kinds of cool flavors. If you've seen all the vapor shops and stuff like that. So you're taking in something that's toxic in high amounts. For anybody that is sucking those back, or you're smoking, black cumin. There's been some great studies on black cumin for lung cancer. 68% kill rate on cancer cells with black cumin. Pretty cool stuff there. And it was Autism Awareness Day a few days ago. So with that, probiotics are showing huge results for anybody that's that has autism, for helping out with that, because whatever goes into your gut goes into your brain eventually. And so the better your gut functions, the better your brain functions, and that holds true with autism like everything else. So that is Health in the News. Go to clintfuquay.com, go to the Facebook page, like the Facebook page, follow me on Twitter. Go to the blog. I'm going to start getting on Instagram very soon too, because I've got tons of pictures going out, so I might as well hop on there as well. But check those out. Like me, follow me, and check out the rest of the show, because I have Regg Miller with Kinisi. For the rest of the show, we're going to talk about how to keep your cool and stay supported all summer while it's hot out there, especially for the athletes. Moms, dads, for the young athletes, listen to this show. Need the information. With that, talk to you later.
So if you guys are ready to read humorous satiric blog, check out wheatishcomplexion.com. I am positive you're going to get a great laugh, and you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you.
All right, this is Clint Fuquay with the Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show, and you've heard the show. You've heard me talk about all kinds of stuff with health and wellness. On April 1st, this is not an April Fool's joke, you can get the book of the show. That's right, Personal Healthcare Reform, the book, and the work through its book, because this is something you have to work through. This isn't a mandate. This is your own reform for health care. That's right, Personal Healthcare Reform. Buy the book, April 1st. Don't be a fool.
My name's Ross Patterson. I'm the founder of Global Fusion. Global Fusion is a nonprofit that is used to help businesses, churches, and development agencies collaborate to serve the least reached and the least served in the world. You can see our website and learn more about us at globalfusion.cc. We really work on that through 4 key areas. First, we help inspire action by telling great stories. Then we help train people to really think differently about how they could use their own vocations to go make a difference elsewhere in the world. Then we help mobilize short-term teams to tough-to-get-to places like Afghanistan and Indonesia where they can serve. And lastly, we help build collaborative networks of people so they can get in the boat, row together, make a big difference with limited resources. You can see our website and learn more about us at globalfusion.cc. globalfusion.cc.
According to recent polls, most single people have or will try online dating. To complete your profile, you must answer an average of 400 questions. No wonder people are fed up with the usual dating sites. Introducing 15 Winks, the only mobile dating app that uses date-stamped 15-second videos to introduce you to your special someone. It's a 15-second speed date. To find out more, go to 15winks.com. That's 15winks.com for an amazing 6-for-1 offer. Then click the Get It Now button and enter ID number 2522. Welcome to 15 Winks.
All right, we are back. Is the Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show, and we're taking your health to a higher level, riding that mythical horse named Pegasus. And speaking of, we're going to talk about some mythical stuff like, dry wear and synthetic clothing and things like that that are mythically supposed to keep you dry and keep you active and help you perform better, and all kinds of mythological stuff that goes on with these because, well, it's all myths. So I had on Regg Miller. We had him on for about 5 minutes on the last show, and I wanted to continue talking with him about his company and why we teamed up with him with Kinisi because of all the myths that are going on out there in the industry for all the dry fit stuff, all the Under Armour stuff, all the compression shorts, and what works, what doesn't work, and everything else. So I wanted to shed some light on that and talk about some stuff that really does work very, very well. So with that, welcome back, Mr. Regg Miller with Kinisi. Regg, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great.
Good to have you back on. And had you on for about 5 minutes, doing a little health and news segment, a little special section for that, for health and news. And I wanted to bring you back on and talk about some stuff with you, since summer's coming up, and with summer, that means there is, it gets hot out there. In Dallas, it's very humid, so you get hot, you get wet, you get sweat all over you, and most of the Under Armour stuff out there, it's cool, it's got a great name to it, but it doesn't really keep you all that dry. It's sticky, it's itchy, it does smell quite a bit whenever you get it wet, so especially when you have sweat on there, not just regular water. But so I wanted to bring you back on and talk about some stuff for the summertime, about some safety issues about overheating, and why what you produce with the active cotton is so much better, so much more efficient. Was keep people drier and a lot cooler, and actually help out with maintaining body temperature during the summertime.
Right. I mean, let's go back a little bit because as a professional athlete, I was, like I said, I was wearing a lot of this synthetic stuff and really had no chance. And typically, there's still a whole lot of people out there who prefer to wear just a plain cotton T-shirt to work out, just because of the negative things that go along with synthetics. Synthetics, as we all know, or maybe we don't know, are petroleum-based plastic. So basically, you're taking some kind of oil derivative, you're creating a synthetic garment, and you're pressing it into a thin piece of plastic, and then you're cutting it into threads and then sewing it together. So that's what petroleum-based synthetic garments are. Now, along with synthetics came the word wicking, which was something that would theoretically take the sweat off your body and spread it across the garment, so in theory it would evaporate quicker. I've done this test with everything from Nike Dry Fit to Under Armour to Puma, Adidas, Mizuno, everybody that's out there in the synthetic world. And one of these days we'll put a little video on there, Clint, that will show everybody what they really mean by wicking. And believe me, wicking is not all the same. There's so many different kinds of wicking. When you go into a store, a sporting goods store, you pick up the hang tag and it says wicking, we all assume that that is the golden word. However, there is, wicking from A to Z, and it's all different, and a lot of it actually doesn't even wick. And here's another sort of tidbit that we know in the industry, that most of the fabric that is treated with a wicking agent, and it's a topical agent, is added to the synthetic, typically washes out within 5 to 10 washes. So at that point, you're left with a piece of polyester plastic with no wicking. And what polyester does better than anything is it sticks to you when you're wet. So when you start sweating, just think of yourself putting a garbage bag on top of your body and trying to sweat. It's pretty much the same thing. First of all, there needs to be oxygen to get to your body, and a synthetic garment does not allow oxygen to get to your body, much like a plastic bag. So when your core is starting to overheat when you work out, you need to be around that 37 degrees Celsius to maintain your optimum amount of energy and power. As soon as you go below that or above that, the body starts to compensate by burning energy. So typically, when you're in a synthetic garment and your core starts to overheat, there's nowhere for the heat to go. The sweat goes out, but the heat stays in. So this is why you typically just get so overheated in a synthetic garment. This is, for instance, why marathon runners, no matter what kind of cold temperatures they run in, are basically almost wearing nothing. They can't afford to put a synthetic shirt on them that will overheat their body, and then they'll break down after a certain amount of miles.
Or they'll get the smallest shirt possible. That way, it's not covering their entire body, and they still have, the body has the ability to breathe. And on your website, on the Kinisi website, you've got some great research backing this up.
Yes.
From what I've seen, it's really cool to see that. Of course, I'm a science guy, so I geek out on all the science stuff. But even just from a visual aspect, looking at it and seeing the changes and the differences between people's body heat expenditure and how that's going, it makes a huge difference. And I want to point one thing out here for everybody looking at the U.S. military. U.S. military has essentially said that if you're in the military, you can't wear Under Armour, you can't wear the synthetics for several reasons. One of them is the overheating issue, which is not really all that known. But the bigger issue is, since it's an oil-based synthetic and it does cling to the skin, whenever you heat it, i.e. it's around fire, it's a fire hazard.
Yes, it will actually burn you worse than the flame.
Yes.
Because it's like dropping molten plastic on your body. It just burns up, and it will cause severe damage to you. And I mean, let's face it, the world is all about marketing, and these companies have marketed their product to the nth degree, and they've converted all the people into thinking that, synthetics are the be-all and end-all for performance. And I'm not saying that there aren't some good synthetic products out there, but they're very specific. But typically when you go into a Dick's or a Sport Authority and you pick up a typical Nike or an Under Armour shirt, you're not getting the top-of-the-line stuff there. You're getting a brand name that you're convinced is sort of like a cool thing. But I digress a little bit, and I don't want to pick on the other people. I want to talk about why our product is different. The big, huge difference about our product, Active Cotton, I spent 3 years with a textile chemist figuring out a way to take moisture from your body, move it through the exterior of the fabric, and leave your skin dry. So unless you are basically standing under Niagara Falls in a huge rainstorm, your shirt becomes super saturated, you will be much drier. And we have typically, and I'm not kidding, this kind of freaked me out too, we have hot yoga instructors in 104 degree temperatures wearing long sleeve and long leg pants in yoga classes. These are like instructors that have been teaching yoga for years and years and years. They're wearing that because it breathes. The body gets oxygen and the skin stays drier. The garments themselves become wet and they get a little bit heavy, but nowhere near a regular cotton amount. But the main thing is, again, the body breathes. We have Olympic sprinters who have asthma, who have been training for years, cannot wear a synthetic garment because their body doesn't get oxygen. They need to be on the puffer every time they're training. We put 2 of these Olympic sprinters in Southern California where it's hot and heavy, and they can work out in that shirt for 2-3 hours, and the body breathes. They said they finally have something that is comfortable. Active Cotton will change the way you want to work out and the way you feel about your workout. And as we've started to give this product out and sell it to more and more athletes, the better the athlete, the faster they understand and feel the difference. And when they put that garment on and they start working out, the first thing they all say is, oh my God, it doesn't stick and it doesn't smell. And I'm comfortable and it feels like a second skin. This is what Active Cotton is going to do to change sort of your basic workout.
Oh yeah, and I will double down on the whole it doesn't smell, because of course, you know, my main job is training, and so if I'm out doing stuff all day long, by the time you get home, if you're wearing synthetic shirts, you smell the rest of the day on you. Wearing the Kinisi stuff, I gotta tell you, there's no smell whatsoever, none. And the neat thing is, and I want to pick on another company because they do yoga specific stuff and they do yoga pants, stuff like that, and they've been in the news for their pants being see-through on occasion because they break down so quickly. You know, with the dry cotton or with the Active Cotton, it doesn't have that same breakdown. In fact, it gets better every time you wash it. I've noticed this with my own products. I mean, I'm several wears in, several washes in, and they actually have gotten better as I've been washing them. The clothing feels better, the fabric feels better, it actually cools better, it feels a whole lot better on the skin. It's one of those things of, it's like that nice comfy cotton t-shirt that you've had for 20 years and you're never going to give up because it feels so good. I mean, that's what this feels like, but you stay active in it and you perform a lot better in it.
And now you have a moisture movement capability. You know, I mean, and I'm not going to say anything again, like cotton has a bad rap for actual performance because literally 100% cotton t-shirt can take 27 times its weight in wet. So basically, it's a sponge. Mm-hmm. And that's the true reason why synthetics came into the market in the first place, was because cotton got too hot, too heavy, it just dragged you down. But Active Cotton has changed all of that. Active Cotton is a fabric that we've developed, and it's not a topical treatment. We do this when we spin it in the yarn. It lasts forever until that shirt falls off your back. I can tell you, and you know yourself, every athlete knows out there, you buy a synthetic shirt, within 6 months, if you're training in that shirt on any kind of regular basis, it's a piece of garbage. By the time you wash it a half a dozen times, by the time you wash it a half a dozen times, if you put it in the dryer, it starts to like crack and break and everything like that. So you got to have all this special care. Active Cotton is in the life of the garment. You can put it in the washer. You can put it in the dryer on medium heat. You can even put one of those Bounty soft things in there, right? For softener, right? But you just can't use liquid softener in the wash. But you can put a bounce sheet for softener in. And the other thing Active Cotton doesn't have is static. There's huge static in polyester. The other thing, too, is once polyester gets wet, it starts to actually be like a little file. And I mean, there's tons of people out there who have nipple burn. There's people who have rashes under their armpits. I mean, on your shoulders. It's just on and on and on. I mean, polyester was never, ever meant to be an athletic performance product. However, by default, it happened to be the choice that seemed to work, other than typical cotton. But now, if you have active cotton, you have actually a natural product that will last you years, not 6 months. In fact, you're right, Clint. The more you wash active cotton, the softer it gets, like a typical cotton t-shirt, and the moisture-moving qualities improve with age, because the reason your cotton shirt gets softer when you wash it is cotton has natural impurities in it when it's ginned, and as you wash those impurities out, your shirt becomes softer. So it has exactly the same thing that happens to active cotton. The more you wash it, softer it gets, the more pure the moisture movement capabilities become, and that shirt that worked great the first 6 weeks you had it, 2 years later is working better than it's ever been. And, when you go home, do you run to the closet and put on a synthetic shirt? I don't think so, right?
No.
So when you run home and you put on an active cotton shirt, you can wear this all day during your workout. You're dry 10 minutes after you work out. You can wear it home. You don't get the the scratching, any of those things. And, it's a breakthrough. And, are we against the herd mentality for, against cotton and for synthetics? Absolutely. But, life changes and things change. And this is a cyclic thing that's going to take over in a couple of years. We really believe that active cotton will be, really another quality of fabric, like dry fit, like Coolmax, like Gore-Tex. People will just start demanding active cotton because of the comfort and the workout things that it offers, plus the breathability, no odor, all those things.
And for the runners out there, all runners know about the Band-Aids. Band-Aids are
Sure.
nipples so you don't bleed. Because there's some great jokes out there about that, and it does happen with the synthetics quite a bit. I do want to move downstairs right quick, so we only have just a little bit left, but the lock. Let's talk about the lock for just a second.
Sure. The lock is a product that I created because all men do not like jock straps, never did, and they've been around since Jesus was walking on water. They needed a change. I developed from dancers. Dancers are the most central, core-specific people in the world. They need to be centered. They need to do all those pirouettes and everything like that. So I took the essence of a dance belt, created and joined it up with a compression short to make the first ever core compression short with pelvic floor stability. It took 5 years for us to get the patent because we went against every stretchy short that was ever patented in the world. And when we got the patent, everybody finally said, yes, it is different. And the way we got it to patent was we proved that it actually supported and lifted the pelvic floor when you work out. That's massive for a man, because every time a man steps and breaks a straight leg into a knee flex, you're putting pressure on your pelvic floor. Crossfitters, runners, triple jumpers, hurdlers, everybody. You just name it. When you're out there walking your dog or even golfing, every time you bend your knees when you swing a golf ball or a golf club, you're putting pressure on your pelvic floor and you're causing energy to go down. The lock supports the pelvic floor and keeps your energy up. So you play harder, you recover faster, you play at your maximum ability because of the freedom of the leg. And that's the thing. The difference between the lock compression and a typical compression short is the legs are free to perform at their highest level while you're getting stable core support through your stomach, through your back, and through your groin. So that is what the lock is going to do, and it's going to change, again, the way a man approaches athletes. Bauer Hockey was the first one to license this product. They put it in their Vapor Elite Lockjaw short, and I'm in Canada, so of course hockey's big in Canada, and Bauer is the biggest name in hockey, and they've licensed this technology. You can see it online. It is the top-selling hockey short in the world, and we can translate that into everything else: baseball, football, soccer, running, you name it.
Yeah, and just like the shorts, those shorts get better and better every time you put them on, because they are a little bit awkward the first time. I will let everybody know that. It's a little bit awkward the first time, but after that, you get used to it and you start loving it, and you really just don't want to give them up after the first couple times of wearing them. So I want to thank you for coming on and talking about the products and why I wanted to team up with you and start bringing these stateside. Because there's a huge need for this, especially for two-a-days. All the kids are going to be out there. Parents, for your kids, the shorts and the shirts are going to make the difference in your kids out there, keeping them cool, keeping them drier. So when everybody else is having all these heat exhaustion issues, your kids aren't having those. And from a safety standpoint, that is huge, especially here in Texas because of how hot it gets as two-a-days are coming up. So with that, go to clintfuquay.com, go to the products page, look at Kinisi on there. Use the code on there. Get some percentage off. Regg, thank you for coming on. And with that, come back for the next show. We got tons of great stuff coming up for everybody out there. And one last thing, go buy my book. Don't leave by fool with your health. And we will see you next week.